gene source, there are the different sources for the gene. One of the most important source for the gene, that is cDNA library. There are the two types of DNA libraries. One of the library is the genomic DNA library or the genomic library, and other is the cDNA library. There is a basic difference between these two libraries. In case of genomic library, there is a direct cloning of that particular DNA fragments or the genetic material. In case of cDNA library, this cDNA, first of all, there is a preparation of cDNA from the messenger RNA, and then there is a cloning of that particular cDNA. So this is the basic difference between the genomic and cDNA library. Now in this cDNA library, first of all, this cDNA library is the population of the bacterial transformant or the phage lysates, in which each mRNA isolated from an organism as its cDNA inserted in a plasmid or a phage vectors. cDNA is a copy or complementary DNA which is produced by using the mRNA as a templates. Means this cDNA is a complementary DNA which is produced by using the messenger RNA. Messenger RNA acts as a template. Messenger RNA acts as a template for the formation of the complementary DNA. Now this cDNA copy of an RNA molecule is produced by a reverse transcriptase enzyme. This cDNA is produced on the mRNA templates with the help of the enzyme. This enzyme is called as the reverse transcriptase. This reverse transcriptase enzyme is RNA dependent DNA polymerase enzyme. This plays the important role in the reverse transcription. As we know that in transcription there is the involvement of the transcriptase enzyme, and this carry out the transcription process. But here is the reverse, this enzyme that carry out the reverse process, means this formation of the DNA on the RNA strand. Now, when the eukaryotic mRNA used as a template for the formation of the complementary DNA, mainly there is a use of poly-T oligonucleotide, and this poly-T oligonucleotide is conveniently used as a primer for the formation of the complementary DNA strand on the messenger RNA. Now this for the construction or the preparation of the cDNA library, first of all there should be the cDNA preparation. This how there is a preparation of the cDNA. First of all, as there is a use of mRNA as a template, now here we can see this is the mRNA which is used as a template, and this mRNA has some special features. Now this is the mature messenger RNA, and which has the 3' end with the poly A tail, and there is a 5' end. Now during the cDNA preparation, appropriate oligonucleotide primer, that is called as oligo-T, which is annealed with the mRNA. 3' end of the mRNA, as we know that at the 3' end there is a poly A tail, and this oligonucleotide is annealed with the 3' end of the messenger RNA. Annealing means this is joined here, and this after the annealing of this primer with the 3' end of the messenger RNA, reverse transcriptase enzyme bound, and this reverse transcriptase extend this primer using the mRNA molecule as a template and form a DNA strand. So here, because of the formation of DNA strand on the messenger RNA, here is a formation of the RNA DNA hybrid. Here we can see here is the formation of the RNA DNA hybrid. This is what RNA strand, this is the DNA strand, and here is the formation of RNA DNA hybrid. Now from this hybrid RNA strand that is digested either by the RNase enzyme or alkaline hydrolysis. Means here is the digestion of these messenger RNA on which there is a formation of the DNA strand, and because of the digestion of the messenger RNA, there is only the remains of the single stranded DNA. Now here we can see this is the single stranded DNA which is remains here, and here at the 5' end there is a TTT. Now here this end of the cDNA that itself serves as its own primer. There is no need to bind another primer for the formation of the complementary strand on the single strand of the DNA. And this provides the 3-OH for the synthesis of the complementary strand. Now here we can see this 5' end, this 5' end, and this is the 3' end. Now here, after the binding of there is a formation of the complementary DNA strand on the single stranded DNA with the help of enzyme DNA polymerase 1, and this DNA polymerase 1 which form the another DNA strand. Where we can see this DNA strand, but because of these one of the end which act as the primer, here is the formation of the loop, and here is the formation of the single stranded loop. And this single stranded loop, this is the short hairpin loop which is generated at this end. This loop is cleaved by the single strand specific nuclease enzyme. Here is the binding of the single strand specific nuclease enzyme, and because of the binding of this enzyme cleaves that particular loop, and due to which there is a formation of the complementary DNA. But the complementary DNA which is formed here, this complementary DNA has the blunt end. Here we can see this is the blunt end, this is also the blunt end. So here is the formation of blunt ended complementary DNA. Now in this picture we can see the steps which are involved in the formation of the complementary DNA. If we see the one by one, poly A tail which is present on the mRNA, this is the oligonucleotide T primer which bound here with the help of reverse transcriptase with the formation of the DNA strand. Then with the help of the enzyme, this RNA strand get digested. Here is only the remains of these single stranded DNA with the help of DNA polymerase 1 formation of the another strand, but formation of the single stranded loop, and this loop with the help of single strand specific nuclease that cleaved, and formation of this complementary DNA. So in this way there is a formation of the complementary DNA. Now after the formation of the complementary DNA, when we have a cDNA, then there is a cloning of the complementary DNA for the construction of the cDNA library. Now this cloning of the cDNA for the preparation of the cDNA library, cDNA clone in a expression vector. Now this plays very important role, as we know that there are the two types of the vectors. One is the cloning vector, other is the expression vector. Cloning vector which is only used for the cloning purpose. These do not undergo the expression. But in case of expression vector, vector in which that gene can be expressed due to the presence of the promoter, that is called as the expression vector. Now this expression vector, why this undergoes the expression? Because there is the presence of the promoter. As this promoter is the sequence of the nitrogen base which is upstream from transcription start site, which are involved in the binding of that particular enzyme for the synthesis of the RNA strand. So this promoter that also plays the very important role in the gene expression, and because of the presence of the promoter sequences in that vector, that is called as the expression vector. Now the cDNA clones differ from the genomic clones in lacking the introns. Whatever the number of copies of the cDNA which are called as the cDNA clones, these are differ from the genomic clones. How? In case of genomic clones, there is a remains of the introns, but in case of cDNA clones, there is a removal or lacking of the introns. Why this is lacking of the introns? Why there is a lacking of introns? Because this cDNA is formed from the messenger RNA, and this messenger RNA is the mature messenger RNA which is formed by the RNA processing. There is RNA splicing and that removes the intron, and in that mature messenger RNA this lacks the intron. So because of this, in a cDNA this lacks the intron. So this is the basic difference between the cDNA clones and genomic clones. We can say this is the basic difference between cDNA library and the genomic library. Frequency of cDNA in a library depend on the frequency of the messenger RNA. Now this is the construction of the cDNA library. In this diagram we can see this messenger RNA, this form the cDNA. This cDNA that insert into the vector. Now this, in that vector there is the use of restriction enzyme, and these cDNA insert into that vector and here is the formation of the vector along with the cDNA that transform into the bacterial cell for the formation of number of copies. So this is the diagrammatic representation for the formation of the cDNA library. Now this cDNA library or cDNA which has some applications. cDNA can be directly cloned into a vector. cDNA can be used for the isolation of the corresponding gene from the genomic DNA. Now this cDNA is also used in the diagnosis of the infectious disease and identification of the food contaminants. And this is also used in the forensic test, for example, in the DNA fingerprinting with the help of the complementary DNA. So these are the practical application of the complementary DNA or the cDNA library. The most important thing, this cDNA, this has the very special feature in which this lacks the introns. So this is all about the complementary DNA and the cDNA library.